It's your boy Truestory Funch, man, back on Truth to the Ground podcast. It's a big one today.
Yeah.
I got one of my dogs in the building, man. Real dog, man. I would say neighborhood hero. Former athlete. I'm gonna let you do it yourself, brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Sean Price,
Yes, sir.
former athlete, like you said, played collegiate, professional, current law enforcement officer, business owner, also a run club founder.
Right.
Life is good.
Hey, life is good, man.
Good.
Hey, I want to say, bro, like, your hustle is seen. Your journey is noticed.
Mm-hmm.
You done some notable things, man, and you continually doing notable things, bro. And one thing I seen from like knowing you, then learning your story and doing my research, bro, like you came through a lot of adversity throughout your paths and your time growing up throughout your life, man. I think one thing you bring to this platform is just like your will to go succeed, to continue going, and of that nature, bro. So like, with that being said, tell us like where you from, man. How it all started.
All right. From Central Florida, small town. About maybe an hour and a half north of here. Maybe a population of 300, 600 people. Raised by my grandparent.
Yeah.
Grew up on a farm. Lost my mom at a very young age. I was 3. Sibling of 2. Got an older brother, younger sister.
Yeah.
Never met my father. So my childhood was a little, I wouldn't say it was bad. You know what I'm saying? My grandparents did a wonderful job, raised a wonderful young man. Did a good job, my brother and my sister. But there's always going to be that disconnect there of not having your actual biological parents.
Right.
With that being said, my grandparents did do a very good job. But just to get into like sports and everything, I didn't really find a passion for the game of football, basketball, track, whatever need be until middle school. 'Cause prior to that, all I knew was farm labor, working in a peanut field, you know what I'm saying? Working so I can pay for my school clothes that upcoming school year. But remember going into middle school, Coach Ken was my first football coach. I was walking through the cafeteria. Always been a big guy, naturally bigger than most people, but I never understood the capacity of what size meant in the sports realm. But he did at the time. He stopped me. The old country dude. Hey, young man, you play ball? I was like, no, sir. He said, well, now you do. And he handed me this paper. He's like, get this to your mom, your dad, whoever. I'll see you in the weight room on Friday. So I'll see you on a Monday. Obviously took the paper home to my grandparents. It was new to them. They real old school.
Yeah.
My older brother, he played sports, but he never played like in middle school. He only played when he got to high school. So my grandparents hopped on board, man. We got me in a football, brother. And low key just took off from there.
Yeah.
We can get into more specifics if you would like.
Oh, for sure, man. Look, I would say like just to understand the structure. So I say you from Central Florida. Did they have middle school football teams where you was at, or was it more of a little league?
More of a little league.
Okay.
So, I mean, the teams out there symbolize the actual middle school you attended to, but it wasn't funded through the middle school.
Okay.
It was funded through the city and the county at the time.
So where I'm from in Carolina, we had actual middle school teams.
Yeah.
I know when I came to Florida, that wasn't a thing like down south. I was like, okay, yeah.
We ain't had the funding for that. I don't think we still do. They don't have them set up for us. So the city or the county pays for the youth.
Right.
Yeah, within the city.
So when you started ball, like, was it like something that you just came on to, like, I'm really doing this, or was it something you had to grow around to and, feel comfortable about?
Nah, man, I definitely had to grow around to it, man. My first spindle playing basketball and football was very rough for me. I mean, basketball was so bad, my left foot from my right foot. So bad I actually scored a point for the opposing team off a rebound on a free throw.
Yeah.
Which is real bad. Heard a lot of feedback from that.
Oh, they were talking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
They were talking crazy.
In-house, I got a lot of negative feedback from that, man. But, it all toughened that shell.
Right.
Really opened my mind to things that need to be shifted, be changed, even at a very young age. Even in football, in my first game of football, I was playing defensive end. And obviously we had practices like 2 or 3 weeks prior to that, but I guess coaches never caught the bad habits I was developing.
Right.
But it definitely showcased itself the first game. Just to give you a quick rundown on that. First football game of my life, every snap. I'm playing defensive end, I'm supposed to have containment. Ball snap, I just stood there. And granted, I had played football with my cousin, so I knew to tackle the person with the football.
Yeah.
I just don't know what's going through young man's mind at that point, right?
It's fair.
I don't know. I stood there, I'm getting bullied, I'm getting pushed on the ground, getting back up. I don't know. I didn't really have that fire in my heart at that time, I guess. But after that game, man, I remember I went home, and it kind of stuck with me because I had disappointed my grandfather, my grandmother, my uncle, my auntie, and I heard it.
Yeah.
And I could tell it came from a place of, at time, love from their heart. It's like, hey, we ain't gonna be taking you out there if you ain't finna perform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, trash, this ain't it. You ain't gonna play, you ain't gonna play.
And so, but that's real though.
That was real.
Some people, parents, bro, they gonna let them, hey, whatever, man. Just let them do anything. He got his
Exactly.
He out of school, 2 hours after school, whatever. You at practice, hey, let them go at it though.
Then they end up accepting that work ethic, that behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful for that moment, because at that moment in time, and I don't know why, I don't know what spiritual thing kicked in, but it hurt me to the core to have let my family members down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm so used to doing my farm work, cutting the grass, pretty much abiding by the things that I was supposed to abide to. So there was never a sense of disappointment.
Right.
Now, if I was wrong, I got my butt tore up, whatever, that was different than so I said they're disappointed. I remember it was a Saturday. I dwelled on a Sunday. I had practice on that Monday. I specifically remember it was a sweep pass. The offensive runner, I was at defensive end. Stephon, I think it was Stephon with time. Stephon caught a sweep pass. I remember I just ran full speed, ran right through, straight, decleated. Everybody went crazy. Oh, team, oh man, that was crazy, blah, blah, blah. And I had never received that type of energy before, right?
Right.
Then my coach comes up, Coach Ken specifically comes up, pats me on the back, man. He goes, looks at your eyes, oh, good job, buddy. I love you. I love you. I was like, what? You know what I mean? If that was the first time, like everything just went silent. He was like, I love you, man. That was the first time as a young man that someone looked at me in my eyes, told me that he loved me. My grandfather was a very old school, blue collar, hardworking man. So he was very short with his words. Obviously, you knew he loved you because he took care of you. Yeah. That's the way he showed his love. You're going to get into the realm of how love languages are expressed. His was through acts of service. I certainly have realized that now that I'm an adult. But as a child, those are words you need to hear, especially if you're missing a father figure.
100%.
You know what I mean? So to hear that from a man who wasn't my father, on top of that, who was also a Caucasian male, who had nothing to offer me other than the ability to coach me. You know what I mean? And at that point, it was a good and a bad thing. As I got older, I started to realize it was a good and a bad thing, because me doing well in sports was directly correlated to the validation I received from my coach. You know what I mean? So once I received that, it just lit a fire in my spirit, bro. Like, there was no one that could stop me. I was working during practice. I get out of practice. We had some old rusty weights in the yard that my brother had when he was playing in high school. I left them same rusty weights after practice until my damn orange fly was going to fall off. And it just developed a habit like a machine. I just became a machine, man. And from there, so that was my 6th grade, went to 7th grade. So 6th grade is my basketball year. 7th grade is my football year. Finished, ended up doing well at the end of that season. Ended up developing a couple football intangibles per se. And then that following year, I was the best defensive end in Marion County. I won Mr. Football. Ended up going to high school freshman year. Started as a freshman. They moved me defensive end and tight end. Once I took that starting position as a freshman, man, it just kind of escalated from there.
Yeah.
I carried all the way to my senior year. I had every accolade you could think of. I was the #1 tight end coming out of the state of Florida.
Best in the nation.
Best in the nation, bro. Best in the nation, dude.
Best in the nation, my guy.
Yeah, man. So, best in the nation, #1. My senior year of high school, had every offer you could think of rolling in. At that point in time in my life, I did have me a young tender thing.
Yeah.
that I consider the love of my life. So instead of going to like any of these top 5 power schools, Alabama, UF was kind of one of the tops. We had went through some weird coaching changes and stuff like that. So they kind of put a bad apple in my mouth. And then Miami was under sanction. And I didn't want to go anywhere out of the state of Florida, so I ended up committing to USF. Which honestly was, I think I made the most out of the experience. I met some good brothers.
Yeah.
So we're now lifelong brothers that I've met at USF, man. All-American my freshman year, All-American my sophomore year, junior, and senior year. Projected to go 3rd round. Bowl game came around on a blown play, blocked the field goal. Ref didn't blow the flag. I'm trying to be an effort guy, chase the ball down. Some big D lineman come by. I go dive on the ball. He dive on me. Right knee smacks the turf, and there goes my PCL. And whether you know it or not, after a bowl game, man, you only got 2 or 3 months.
Right.
Bowl, a combine, and and all that stuff like that. We got the physical performance testing.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't gonna be ready by then. But I still persevered through it, man. And I'm going to Colorado, training out in Colorado, trying to get as healthy as I could, man. But the pro day came around, numbers weren't as good. I had a pretty okay agent. He wasn't the best, but he was okay. And I put names out there. Got me signed on with Baltimore. Made the best of that situation. Obviously didn't make the starting roster, anything like that. But I mean, money was still good. If I go back, I take that position any day of the week.
100%.
There, I got released. A year later, I'm getting picked up by Green Bay. Balled out there. I for sure thought I had a spot on the team, man. But that just go to show you, especially in a league like that, billion-dollar industries like that, and the politics always gonna play a role.
Right.
So that didn't last too long. Got released from there, and I moved back to Colorado after that. Was married at the time. Ended up getting divorced. Give the whole pose of that was it.
So like, granted, damn. But you went through a lot. Like you did a lot. But that was real quick though, you know?
It was quick.
So with that being said, like boom, I'm gonna start from that your experience at USF.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start there. How was it playing there? I would say from freshman. You played all 4 years?
Yeah, I played all 4 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Never redshirted. So for me, my mentality when I went to USF, to be frank with you, man, I was number 1 tight end in the nation. I could have played at any other college, prestigious college in the U.S. So there was no reason I shouldn't have went to USF and started and balled out all 4 years. That was my thought process. And I took that energy, and that wasn't me being cocky. That was just me being confident. I understood the work I had put in with some of the, let's rewind back, take it back to high school. I wouldn't even had the opportunity to go play college if I didn't have Coach Collins, RIP, by my side.
Yeah.
Once I got to high school, man, he really invested in me. Invested in me, my boy Jamie Gilmore. He went and played at Temple. He owns Cut Different now, which is a youth development program we have in Ocala. Does a wonderful job with that. Troy Pittman, playing at UF. He went to serve in the military. Thank you for his service, much like yourself. But without him, man, we wouldn't have been where we are. He took us on our wing. He made us play sports. He made us practice all these camps before we even knew what camps were. Out of his pocket, he made it happen. He took us to those camps, and he made sure we bought.
Right.
Without him, I wouldn't have got to USF. So that's kind of where that mentality was developed. Like, if you're going to be a dog, you're going to be a dog.
So with that being said, like, I mean, with you giving that love to a coach, like most dudes I know that like going to that next level, it wasn't based off of the coach's love or whatever. Some of them went to camps and so forth, so they never kind of took that leadership from coaches. They just kind of they just saw it as I would say a standpoint or stay still to get to the next point. But I mean, to have that interaction, to have a good coach behind you to push you to the next point, I would say is deep. Like you were saying earlier with that love, I would say I played ball down south for like 1 year.
Yeah.
Most of the other time down in Carolinas. But a lot of those guys kind of I would say, most of them will tell you like, man, the coach ain't did nothing for me, bro. Like it was all me, like camps, so forth, or, a different type of interaction.
Yeah.
But I could see like, being a figure with South Florida football, these dudes going in and out.
So yeah.
Up there where you at, if I ain't wrong, I mean, it's probably like Ocala, probably more, I ain't gonna say slower pace, I would say, when it comes to school.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on.
So it's more personal in a sense.
Yes.
So yeah.
We don't have as much resources as they do down south.
Yeah.
That's why the term Ocala is the term slow Ocala.
Mm-hmm.
And the turnaround, I know down south, the coach turnaround was probably insane. Like there 1 week.
Yep.
Right. Back in Ocala, you didn't have those resources. We didn't know anything about recruitment. We didn't know anything about reaching out to college coaches or anything like that. A lot of coaches weren't exposed to that. And in Ocala, man, like we didn't have many athletes make it out. There were very few back when we were coming. So we were like really the first ones that really put Ocala on the map.
Right.
Us in addition to like PJ Williams, he played with the Saints for like 8 years. So but when you have coaches like that, so really have a coach like him to really invest and open doors like that, man, he really took on a role as like, he was more than a coach. Like he was always like a father, brother, best friend. Like we had some crazy memories.
But that's a real thing though. And I say like, for instance, just that adversity of what you dealt with versus the player that never kind of had that experience or never had that kind of guidance from a coach, them taking that to the next level is building them as a man. Because some of these dudes, they go on places, but they ain't building their character as a person, you know.
You see that all the time, man.
So
you see that all the time in locker. Some guys who are just, and I was there. I was once that guy you would say like,
but yeah, I mean,
topic in and of itself.
Hey, but not within just in sports, but just within, you know, any field of thing, man. You know, just having that guidance, that leadership, that person to, I would say, be that mentor for you is big, I would say, in a man's life. In my opinion, you know, like you said, you grew up without your father. You found those figures along the journey in your life.
Yep.
Some of them dudes, some people don't find that figure and they fall off different paths, different roads, doing the same things. Like, granted, you know, it ain't as cut, dry, you know, a good situation all the time, being the fact that, you know, you're seeking mentorship from other people, because even like myself, my father, he was 1,000 miles away.
Yeah.
So it kind of was a distance, you know, more of a phone convo, see you once a year. So I kind of had to seek other people within my life. It wasn't the coach though. Like I played ball. I don't know the coach that be with me or what, but no, it wasn't the coach. But you know, I kind of see it through, you know, my friends or their fathers and so forth, or even I don't want to say my mom, but you know, my mom kind of stepped up and, you know, try to be that good role for me. But yeah, man, that's big respect, bro. And I'll say, stepping into, I know you say you dealt with divorce, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
What age you got married though? Was it young or was it, you know?
I kind of snuck that one in there, but yeah, man, it was. I got married going into my senior year of college.
Yeah.
We had to do that. She was in the military, so it's kind of something we talked about at the time, that it was probably best we get married. Granted, we had been together for a while, so it wasn't like we hadn't developed some type of relationship. Like I said, obviously, she was my high school sweetheart and all that stuff. So yeah, that kind of fell into place, as it should have. Yeah, man, back to when I got released Green Bay, right? Back on track now. Came back home, or we were living in Colorado at the time, and things just didn't work out. You know, we screwed 2 different people and got divorced. And that was the first time for me where, obviously, okay, from 7th grade to my senior year, college, post 2 years, life was constantly elevated. I was constantly growing. Accolades, fame, people hitting me. Always had somebody in my corner. Didn't really have to deal, was never reminded of struggle and what struggle felt like. I knew what grind felt like. The grind is never going to leave. I knew how to grind. Grind is always going to be me.
Right.
Adversity and perseverance, those were things that I really had to discover essentially by myself. So when that divorce took place, man, life got dark. Finances were where they should have been. I lost a lot of money. I was poor, living out of my truck, homeless. Phone calls stopped coming in. It was just me in the state I didn't grow up in. Didn't really have any contacts. Ended up meeting my boy Trey. Shout out my boy Trey. He helped me a lot through that process. Great young man, brother for life.
Yeah.
There was a while where it was dark, man. I was living in my truck, and at that point in time, man, like there were nights where I really thought Like I could have took a totally different route.
Right.
Ain't have no money, so how I'm finna go get it? Who I need to rob? What I need to do to get it? What I need to get to, man.
Yeah.
There was always something in me, though. Honestly, there was always something in me that I had built a character. I had set a standard for myself. And no matter how hard life hit, obviously that standard was the standard. Because life is gonna life. We know that. You understand that. You've been in the military. You build life. Life is gonna life, but the standard should always be the standard. So I had to build my way up, man. How I did that, I started working 2 jobs while living in my truck. Worked at JCPenney's as a stocker, picking up clothes in the bag, getting the stuff ready for the store. And I work, I don't know if you heard of Kirby. You've heard of Kirby? Kirby.
Nah, I never heard of that.
It's a vacuum, or what they taught us.
Okay.
What they taught us back then when I was working with them, it's a home cleaning system.
Yeah.
Basically, what you'd have to do, keep in mind, I was here, NFL, all the accolades, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm homeless. I had to dress up in a suit or whatever shirt I had. I had the same black shirt with a red tie, I had some red loafers and some black jeans. And I had to meet them at the central location, load up in a minivan like it had been through several hoods. And I'm loaded up with people who look like they grew up in and was still going through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we're driving 3 hours north Denver to these high-end areas in the snow. I'm about to get out on foot with this big box, this home cleaning system, and knock on these or trying to sell it back. People slamming doors in my face, calling me racist. Very humbling. Very
100%, yeah.
I'm very humbling.
Because you out of your scope and
way out of my I'm way out of my comfort zone. I've never experienced something like this in my life, man. I don't regret a single second. Because at the end of the day, like I told you, I always gonna grind. So I sold the most vacuum.
Right.
I was dishing them for that solid month. I only did it for a solid month. I could take it for like you got paid every week, something like that.
I respect that, bro.
Now I got out of it. Working at JCPenney's and I landed a job on Fort Carson as an intramural sports director. So I dealt with soldiers a lot, come back home from war, really touching base on the mental health aspect, using sports as a way to kind of get them back into the community. So I ran all that. Really met some solid guys. Really interesting to hear what they had to go through, which helped me get through what I had to.
It's the transition, man.
Transition.
When I first came home, cause I got out of the military as soon as I got done my deployment. Contract was done. I was like, I can't do this for another 3 years.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Like people tell you, oh, as a veteran, you get out, job gonna be ready for you, waiting on you as soon as you. That's not a reality. I went into combat arms. I drove tanks, shot tanks, did all that. Like the real reality behind it is, what in the civilian world am I going to do driving a tank?
Right.
Not a goddamn thing. So I'm gonna go back to college. So I went to college, and first day in there, I'm out there with 18-year-olds. I'm like 21 to what cross seas.
Culture shock.
What the hell is this? I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Want to go? I'm gonna go try to do some security.
Okay, that's good.
I'm like, man, I came out there, bro. They had me with a middle one. Bro, I almost lost my shit, bro. Bro, and people playing with me, bro. I'm like, you know who I am? But
feel like it did you?
Fast.
Yeah.
It just took that humbling of myself and that transition, just trying to reinvent myself to know that ain't me no more. That guy I was in the tank, at the end of the day, yeah, cool. I did have my time in service, but unfortunately, it don't really matter no more. Just respect it as anybody, but you gotta find a way to reinvent yourself, make a new title. And I mean, most of that time, I find stuff that I can get into, find friends that I can now, not newly relate to, but they might be of a different background, but we still find an even ground and, be good,
Yeah.
So the reinvention is, I feel like it's big within anything you do. I see especially sports, say from people who going into those rooms where, you're practicing all day. Now you're going into a 8 or 12-hour job now, or some dudes making crazy check till the check stop. Granted, you trying to figure out, because they living up to that money now, so you're trying to figure out how to keep that thing flowing. But now you got to, reinvent yourself, find a new way of living. So it's a big thing, I would say, amongst any and everybody that that come from culture shocks or careers or so forth, man.
That's true, man. That's true.
Yes, sir.
And just So once I got developed, I told you, man, like I was with intramural sports director at Carson. That's when my life really started to transition for the good. Yeah, I started to, for one, I was in a state where nobody knew me, which was, I think, for one, that was great for me. It took a lot of pressure off me. All right, because when you grow up in a small town and everyone has this image of you and these expectations of you, and you were a young man who always sought out validation from others. Yeah. Right. And I told you early on, I said the thing that hurt me the most when I was in sixth grade, seventh grade, was when my grandparents, my uncle, auntie told me they were disappointed. Right. So to go from being here, right, to here, I think if I would have been back in Ocala when all that transpired, I don't think I would have got back up on my feet, because I think the environment that I was raised in and the expectations and the seeking of validation would have been too overwhelming. Right. And I'm not ashamed to say that. Right. And there's a lot of people back home. I mean, you know how it is. You go home, not everybody want to see you make it up. No, not at all. You know what I'm saying? People will clap for you and you're doing good, but they scream even louder when you look at facts. You know what I'm saying? So being in Colorado, although I was homeless and times were dark, those were the best times of my life. Like, I sit back and I think and I have these conversations like, man, even though I was homeless, man, like, and those jobs I had, the people I met in those jobs, I wouldn't trade that for nothing. There was no expectation. It was me finding out who I was as a man and who I was going to be as a man. And there was no need for me to find validation in anything. Like, people I met taught me that you don't need validation. The life I lived taught me that you're more than just an athlete. Football was cool, right? And you don't need, you are going to become the man that you wanted to raise. Right. I mean, like, I know who man I wanted to be a part of my life. I know the father that I wanted to have that I didn't have. Yeah. And I knew that I could be that man that I was. 100%. You know what I'm saying? So those dark times were good for me. Yeah. So 2018 came around. I got another shot in the with football at the AAF. This was right around the same time I had my son. My son was on the way, not with my ex-wife, my current girl. And that really just, me, that was one, it was surprising because it wasn't planned. I'll keep it a buck with you. Yeah. Wasn't planned, but it was a chance for me to become the man, like I told you earlier, that I never had in my life. So when a game came around, I had a different approach to the game of football, man. AAF was wonderful. I no longer sought validation from my coaches, so my drive was there. I understood what it was like to be poor and to not have nothing. Now I'm in the locker room with a bunch of young men. I say young because they haven't experienced life yet, that this is all they depend on. So they know grind, they don't understand like perseverance and adversity. You understand? So when I go to practice, I have a different approach to the game. I know I'm coming here. I know I'm going to make this team, because I know what happens if I don't make this team. Right. You know what I'm saying? So there is no, I'm not making. And I haven't, I say I was training, man. I was training 3 or 4 times a day in Colorado at high altitude. So life was different for me. So when I came to Florida, I was in great shape. Yeah, phenomenal shit. I was unstoppable, right? So I did that in 2018, played in AAF. Some things unfolded with that. Obviously, spring leagues, that's what happened. Yeah. Ended up working at Phoenix House in Central Florida. It's basically, if you guys were not familiar with that, it's a program for people who were incarcerated or about to be incarcerated. The judge either sent them to this alcohol drug rehab program to get their life on track, or people who voluntarily need to go there. Right. Drugs and alcohol use and shit like that. Okay. So I did that for a solid year. Again, that was another wholesome thing for me. More a perspective driven thing. Everyone has their problems. And it really filled my cup. Right. Because again, I had just come from somewhere in my life where I was at the very bottom, didn't have anybody. And to be that for someone else, kind of what fills my cup. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So my question to you is, man, like, if you could tell something to your younger self or to someone that's walking in the same path that can relate to you from how you came up, or that's trying to go the route that you went, what would you tell them? Knowing what you know now, because I mean, if I know what I know now, I probably would have put some money in Bitcoin, you know? Yeah. But like, just knowing enough to like, traveling, like going through the journey, football, Like, most people probably would have hit that field, hit that gym in the morning, hit that gym, after school or, so forth. So,
Yeah.
like, what's your take on?
If I could give advice to my younger self, that's life gonna life.
That part.
Standard's gonna be the standard.
Yeah.
Right. Know who you are, know who you're gonna be, know who you want to be, and be that. Right. Find out what works for you and work.
Right.
It's simple. Don't overthink it.
100%.
On life, bro. You just gotta keep going.
That part. Keep going. With that being said, one more. Well, I got probably a couple more questions, but how much money you think the NCAA owe you, bro? If NIL was here today?
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Hey, dog.
Especially the way I was coming out back then. I mean, that was 2012. So, I mean, that stuff wasn't really big. And the college was really big on, your likeness is ours. We paying you nothing. You can't make money out, blah, blah. Hey, if you didn't want to tight end in the country.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, I mean, like, on them All-American game, sky was the limit. The sky was the limit. And having social media now, like what you can do with social media, if there's Instagram back then, I think that's when Instagram. I think that's when Instagram was finally coming out, maybe 2013.
Yeah, around 12. Yeah. So next question is, bro, gonna bring you back down your football road, bro. Going to college, if you could put out offense, right? I would say, all respect to the O-line. We just ain't gonna add the O-line in right now. If you could put all offensive players out, combo skill, who will be your team, bro?
What you mean?
Like, you about to put all the people you play with, played alongside. If you could put what is it, 5 people, 5 or 6 out there
on offense?
Yeah, skill
11.
No. All together 11. Skill and combo. Yeah, 7. 7 on 7. I guess you would say. Who will be your starting 7, bro, from your 4 years of college?
I play with?
Yeah.
You try to give me.
Nah, I'm just like who you putting out there, bro? Who the quarterback?
Don't take this personally. Some things will happen, but let's see. Man, you got to start off with quarterback is the most prestigious part of the draft. I mean, it's gonna hurt. Hard. My quarterback, I'm out to keep it a buck. I'm going BJ.
Okay, BJ. Shout out to my boy. Yes, sir.
Boy looked out for me. When he was there, he delivered the rock to me. If I had to be somebody after him, it'd be Gilbert. Playing, and he playing with the Cowboys for a while. He had a nice touch on the ball, but
okay.
I'm gonna go receiver. I'm gonna go Charles Johnson. Dog. Played in Minnesota for like 8 years. Quarterback BJ Daniels. Receiver, I'm gonna go Charles Johnson. We got dog, man. Running back, I'm gonna have to go with Dearness Johnson.
Okay.
That's my boy. Dog.
Shit, we still got about 3 more to go, maybe?
Yeah, we got that's 4 more.
That's 4 more to go, yeah. Depending how you want to put it out there, bro. What kind of package you want? You want a tight end in there? You want another? Okay.
Tight end, me not included. Yeah.
They make you think now.
Yeah, dude. We have some good tight ends too, though. We have a lot of good tight ends. I'm gonna have to go with Cam Sutton. He in USF right now. He doing his thing.
Okay.
So we got 3 more receivers. I'm gonna have to go Jeff Badette, dog, from out of Florida, Orlando. For my dog AJ, and he was a dog, man. My man would have stayed healthy. Then Marquez, Valdez Scant.
Okay, yeah.
You gotta throw about it. You gotta throw about it. You gotta throw about it.
Yeah.
That's my team. That's my 707 package. Man.
Okay.
We run the state.
Run the state, best in the nation.
We run that package right there.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, what's one of your memorable moments from playing alongside, I would say, these guys that played along in college with, Phil?
Man, I think if you ask any guy this question, you're going to get the same response, man. It's the brotherhood that you establish in the offseason.
Yeah.
Like what you do on game day is cool, but what you do in the trenches in the summertime, on your free time, crazy stories you share with your boys, the ins and outs, the ups and downs. I mean, because you're with these guys more than you with your family.
Right.
They are your family. 24/7. So, say I miss most, man, just hanging with the guys. Like I hang out with y'all, man.
Right,
Go out
right.
there and
Yeah,
can't get that. That's time you can't get back. Best memories you ever have.
100%.
Guys being dudes.
Yeah.
That's agree.
That being said, bro, you jumped out into the entrepreneur side of things, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you got Price Builds. You also started the Run Club, man. Tell us a little bit about the Run Club.
Yeah, man, the Run Club was something I picked up when I retired from the XFL in 2023. Going into 24, I was running one day. So I happened to be seeing like one of my mutual followers, him and my brother more close than anything, but his name is Julius Bryant, real good guy.
Yeah.
I had been seeing him run a lot. Like I said, we had never intermingled at all before. We just kind of were in the same kind of common community circle. One day I just posted a poll, you know, I was like, hey man, I'm thinking about starting a Run Club. And he was one of the first ones that hit me up, like almost me, like, hey brother, would love to do it. What are the details? Let's get into the specifics. Blase. Like next, I think like 2 days later, we had our first run together, man. And it just kind of grew from there. It was kind of something we wanted to make more of a community thing.
Right.
So now, since then to now, I mean, it's grown significantly. We just started our first run page, MIM Ocala Run Club. Make sure y'all follow that.
Y'all follow that, man.
You're up in Ocala, you just want to run. Times Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 5 a.m. Get your big back out of bed. Let's go run together, have some fun. But it's really more of a mental thing, man. It's more than running. You know, before the runs we pray, post run we pray. And now as we're starting to get further along in the Run Club, we're starting to have brunches together, dinners together, more fellowship, just getting to really know each other on a not a spiritual level, but I guess you say more of a companion friendship.
Right.
And I think it's really starting to show dividends, man. We got the local gym, new gym that just went up in Ocala, underground gym, guys from UK. Kieran, he's all aboard. Great guy, very successful entrepreneur. He's really all aboard the Run Club.
Right.
Huge training facility. If you're ever in Ocala, make sure you check that out as well. But the Run Club has done good, man. We got some really good runners in the club. People who can't run, people who just want to walk. It's good for everybody.
Okay, most definitely, man. Hey, continue building, man. Keep it on social media, bro. They're gonna grow your people coming out, bro. We're probably gonna get out of control.
It will soon, man. Once people catch me up. We got a lot of runners. They just got to find a common ground. Yeah, we're still working on the Kings, but it's paying dividends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Price Builds, man.
Yeah.
What we building?
Build whatever you need. I started that in 2020.
Yeah.
After COVID hit, had bought a house, looking at buying some barn doors, and I saw the prices of them. And I thought they were outrageous for what they were selling. So me being me, I was like, you know, I think I can build it myself, man. So I went on YouTube. That's when the whole DIY thing was huge because nobody else had anything better to do. So videos were constantly being uploaded on how to build them.
Yeah.
I put my first barn door out there, man. I built it. I was very proud of myself. Looking back on it, it wasn't the best. But it was good enough at that point in time. Made a couple posts, started building barn doors, garden beds, and more things inside the house.
Right.
People started hitting me up. Hey, can you build this for me? I'll pay you. And I was really caught by surprise. It was really something more recreational for me. It wasn't supposed to be business. Gotcha. But with the support of like people back home in the community, man, they really turned it around for me and showed me that I really have some serious talent here. And from there, man, now I do all type of models. Booming.
You know, after working alongside, you know, people in construction and engineering, but it's fun, man. It's hard work now. Don't get me wrong. It's hard. Some of them be out there sweating, you know, but getting to it. But
yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing to see. It's almost like a life lesson, man. You get all this wood from scrap, and it kind of resembles my life. Like at one point when I was like, I had nothing off, just a bunch of pieces that I had to put together. Bunch of broken pieces or missplintered pieces I had to put together. I had to sand, I had to paint and assemble, and it made this master.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's really the most rewarding part about what I do anyway, as far as it pertains to my business.
Right. 100%. Hey man, well y'all lock in with that one too, because you got a Price Builds, you know, Ocala area, bro.
All that.
Hey, I'll probably be hitting you up soon though.
Know it. Talking like in the house, man. I'm fine in Texas.
That part, man. So that being said, bro, step into the next part, bro. So our moments right now is 100 man. versus one gorilla, bro. What we doing, man? You with the, hey, what we doing?
It's crazy you say that. I was talking about this. I was talking yesterday at a wedding I had with. I first of all, the videos they post on Grill online are fake. Grill ain't gonna be that goddamn big. Ain't gonna be that goddamn big. Now, a gorilla is dangerous, but I think the first 20, and I ain't talking no average dudes. I'm talking about some alpha males. I ain't talking about nobody.
It's the mindset, right?
Yeah,
hey,
bro, alpha male. The first 20 gonna hold it down entire amount. I'm not gonna be a part of that first 20. I'm gonna be on the back 80. So I'll be over there strong to finish the job. I think 100 men, we can take a gorilla, bro.
Bro, I'm looking at it like this, dog. It's 5 phases to this shit. You hear me? We gonna get this because 100 divided by 5 is 20. We gonna go in
quarters.
Bro, I'm telling you, I already got a plan, bro. People already adopted my plan. AJ adopted my plan. Like,
we can take that gorilla. Hey, we'll take that gorilla.
I'm telling you,
100 of us can take it.
So my goal is, bro, I'm gonna have some Mark Henry, like some big guys out there, like
that's the first 20.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have them. Boom. But let me get this all straight. I'm gonna tell you a little about military tactics, bro. Element of surprise. We're not about to come run up to no gorilla just all willy-nilly. It's element of surprise. We're gonna get this gorilla when he don't expect it. You hear me? Talking about he gonna probably be laying down, or he probably gonna be whatever, his back turned. We gonna sneak up on him. Boom.
Choke him out.
Choke his ass out.
I'm talking about the biggest.
Hey, yeah.
We need America's strongest man, wherever he at.
So boom. I learned this from police, bro. Tactics, bro. What somebody gonna do when they trying to get air? They gonna first thing they gonna do is try to grab that. They gonna try to get that air back.
Somebody hit him in the gut.
Oh yeah, that gonna happen. But we gonna grab his arm before he even get a chance to touch that.
Gotta have 3 on each arm.
3 men on each arm, bro.
So now we got that's 7.
That's it.
About 13 more men on the counter.
Hit his out, bro. He gonna probably try to do something crazy with his leg because he good with it.
Now we need 4.
We grab it on legs, and then boom. That's what I'm gonna get some kickboxers to come in, and they gonna just do some straight leg kicks.
That's it out. That's math.
Stomach.
That's simple math.
Boom. And I don't want to tell you what I'm like. Once he get got out, at that point, he already gonna be making some crazy ass. Like he gonna be out of there, bro. I ain't gonna say he gonna be done. Like, you know, I mean, he gonna be trying to fight.
If one gorilla can take out 100 of America's most healthiest, fittest, dangerous men, you got to think how many MMA fighters we got. You got some trained fighters, bro.
Fast, bro.
All them going.
They maneuver around joints, bro.
Going.
They know the joint, bro.
John Bone Jones, I need you, bro.
Facts.
I need you out there.
We need some real kickers, bro. Cause we gonna be hood.
There's no way he can take all of it.
That man got a heart just like us, but that gorilla.
Let's see. He ain't taking 100. We win. There's win.
And I mean, there might be some casualties along the way. Well,
5 gorillas, we might lose.
Oh no, I ain't sure. No, 5.
We ain't taking 5.
Hey. So hit me out, man. I had a friend, man. He was like, I'm not going out there. And I was like, ask him a question. I was like, hey, bro, if your daughter, let's say it was the gorilla, then your daughter. Is you going, oh, yeah, I'm going to fight that gorilla for my daughter. But I'm like, you wouldn't go out there and fight this gorilla with 100 people? Like, I mean, I get it's your daughter, but
what are you gaining? Like, was there an incentive on the one gorilla versus 100 men? Was there an incentive or something just randomly posted this?
I don't know. If Mr. Beast get involved, it might be some good incentives involved.
That's what I saw. Mr. Beast made like the animated thing. That gorilla was like 10 feet tall. I ain't never seen.
All I'm saying is, ain't no way I'm going to go fight it. I mean, if I'm just risking my life for my daughter, cool. I understand. Like, if I got a kid, I risk my life for the gorilla to take me, not take the kid. I get it.
But at that point, ain't no hand-to-hand combat. I'm calling out that yacht.
Was that? Yeah. But I'm just saying, he just said he ain't going out there at all with 100 men. And I'm like,
I mean, because what do you have in the game? I'm not just gonna go fight a gorilla with 100 dudes because y'all fighting for the hell of it.
But, hey, I mean, what they say, 100,000 a piece. Whoever. Like,
we out there.
Hey,
I'm back now. I'm 90. I'm 93, 94 in the lineup.
93, 94.
In the lineup.
Hey, bro, he started going, that gorilla started going through the lineup fast. He's like, hey, bro, your number gone, come on. He's like, hold on. But yeah, I got you, though.
We'll take it. I think 100 take it.
That part.
Top men, like I said, UFC fighters, top MMA fighters, I mean, a couple of boxers, wrestlers. You need some wrestlers for some manipulation. Break that gorilla arm, man.
Nobody talk about that. Joint gotta be broken, bro.
Gotta break that arm. That joint is strong. Right, break that joint, you good.
My thing is a gorilla in my mind is just an over excessively built human being, in my opinion. Like, I just think it just got more, muscular style. Like,
it ain't like you fighting a grizzly bear. Grizzly bear's out of the picture. He got claws, he finna slice your esophagus and all that. Really, he got them sharp.
I heard you can beat a bear though, bro. They said if it's black, fight back.
Oh.
If it's brown, lay down. If it's white, something about like what?
Yeah, I'm talking about like a grizzly.
Like night.
I ain't fighting it, but you can have it, bro. It sound good. It sound good. I ain't taking that. Nah, I ain't fighting no bear, bro.
I got you.
But yeah, really, we got a that's a W for mankind, right? Huge step for mankind. Okay, so.
So, who your top 5 in music right now, man?
Top 5 in music?
Yeah, artists.
Does it matter what genre?
It don't matter what genre.
There we go. Number 1 gonna be Luke Combs.
Luke Combs.
Okay. Yep. Number 2 gonna be Rod Wave.
Shout out that boy Rod Wave, man.
To the soul. 3 gonna be Morgan. Or Dick Wallen.
Uh-huh.
All right. Number 4 is gonna have to be D-Lo. Boss Man.
Okay.
Number 5, those are really my 4 guys. But if I want to go 5, I'm gonna have to hit Future.
Respect that.
Hit Future.
I respect that. I mean, Luke Combs.
Luke Combs.
You know who you relate to with that 5?
Who?
Wave, bro. I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like Wave relates to these other guys of these other genres when he comes to making it.
Luke Combs is the Rod Wave country music?
Yeah. Somewhat. I would not in the full whole, but I feel like they kind of got that. Rod Wave got that melody. I feel like Rod Wave could relate to Luke. I don't know if Luke can relate to Rod Wave, if that makes sense. Rod Wave, I seen them combine their songs together on YouTube, dog. It sounds good, bro. That's Morgan?
That's Morgan.
Oh, that's probably Morgan. Okay.
Morgan,
My fault. Yeah.
Yeah. Morgan's more diverse than Mr. Combs.
I got it.
For sure. We can yeah. But Combs really he dropped some. Zach Bryan over Wave? Zach Bryan is good. Zach Bryan's more of a acoustic. You ever heard him?
That's some guitar. Yeah.
Huh. Like it's pretty. Zach Bryan is in the past 2 years. Like yeah, he blew up in the past 2 years.
Tyron.
Yeah, he did blow up in the past too. His music is more like a bonfire type music. Right. Bonfire with some marshmallows or something.
You watch Sinners, bro?
Huh?
You seen Sinners yet?
Nah, I want to. I heard it's real good, man. I heard that Michael did his thing.
Bro, that movie, hey. Well, you gotta go watch that tonight, dog. Hey, all I'm saying is, bro, like, you gonna see them first vampires pull up, dog. It was some, it was at a time of race and all that. It was like some white vampires try to come to the black party. They were kind of like scared to let them in. But they were singing a tune, dog. Like, bro, I would have let them in, dog. They would have had me, bro.
Just like that?
I would have let them in the door, dog.
Just like that?
Just like that, bro. But
now you say that because the tune was like, was it
the tune was on point.
Like Rod would have jumped on?
Was that?
Wade would have jumped on with him?
Bro, the whole vibe was kind of like a blues, and Rod Wave kind of give a blues kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I like it. I wish the song was in the movie, but unfortunately, like no Rod Wave style music was kind of being played at that time. So
at that time.
But the blues, bro. Like just looking back at it, it's crazy how like we relate, like how music relate to old times hearing blues now. If you look at a Wave now, it's a blues. It's its own little blue melody in a way. So. Yeah,
well, that's music. Music will always be music.
Facts.
Always passed down. They do little mixes to it, change it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it originated from. Blues, jazz.
Yeah.
That was the original music, wasn't it?
That was one of them.
We start building off that and beats to it and hip hop and all that stuff came into it.
Facts. Here we are now, bro.
True story.
True story. Well, bro, we got one more question, man. We're gonna get up out of here, dog.
All right.
What's a loss you took and you shook back from, man?
Also, I took and I shook back from, man. It's so many. Poverty.
Poverty,
man.
Yes, sir.
Poverty. And identity loss. That was the main one.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned earlier. I lost who I was, who I thought I was.
Yeah.
I was unbecoming someone without knowing who I was unbecoming to become the person that I was meant to be.
Yes, sir.
And that was tough. That was hard. It took some acceptance, a lot of acceptance, a lot of growth. But it was good, man, because it really changed my perspective. I'm a lot more strong-minded than what I was. A lot don't faze me. I'm not finna hoot and holler and get into it, people, man. Like I always say, people are different. Everyone's gonna have their own opinions.
Right.
Man. Believe what you're gonna believe in. That's on you personally.
That part. Yes, sir.
Love freely, man. You love, show love. That's it.
True story.
True story.
Bro, I appreciate you pulling up, my guy.
Hey, yo, man. Always. My boy.
Hey, keep going, man. Y'all already know what it is. Your boy True Story, Front Truth to the Ground podcast. We out.
Out of here.